1. Flight MH370. It was the early hours of March 8, 2014, when Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 disappeared without a trace. On board were 239 people, flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. Everything seemed normal at first. The pilot, calm, sent the last message. "Good night, Malaysian 370. Seconds later, the transponder went offline. The plane vanished from civilian radar. No emergency signals, no radio calls, no trace. Hours later, satellites revealed something unexpected. The plane had changed course, flying for 7 more hours over the Indian Ocean. It traveled toward one of the most remote and inhospitable areas on Earth. 26 countries joined a massive search. For years, thousands of square kilometers of ocean and seabed were explored. Only fragments were found on distant islands like Reunion and Madagascar. Neither the main fuselage nor the passengers' remains were recovered. Some suggest a technical failure, others a hijacking or even intentional action by the captain. Nothing has been proven. In 2018, the final report acknowledged the truth. The cause remains unknown. MH370 became a modern ghost of the skies, a reminder that even today, the world can swallow a plane and its secrets. 2. The Dyatlov Pass mystery. In January 1959, 9 Soviet hikers set out on a trek through the Ural Mountains. They were experienced, led by Igor Dyatlov. Their goal was to reach the summit of Mount Oterten. On February 1st, they camped on a mountain called Kholat Syakhl, which in the local language means Mountain of Death. That night, something forced them to flee their tent, cutting it open from the inside. They ran into the freezing snow, barefoot and poorly dressed in sub-zero temperatures. Days later, rescuers found their bodies. Some were barefoot, others had internal fractures impossible to explain, and one woman had no tongue. There were no signs of a struggle or external wounds. The Soviet investigation concluded they died from an unknown natural force. Over the years, theories multiplied: avalanche, military experiments, secret tests, or something beyond human understanding. In 2019, Russian authorities reopened the case and officially cited a small avalanche. But the explanation doesn't account for the fractures, panic, or why they cut the tent from inside. Dyatlov Pass became a symbol of mystery. More than 60 years later, the mountains remain silent. A silence that may hide the truth or something we cannot comprehend. 3. The Mary Celeste Enigma. On December 4th, 1872, the British ship Dei Gratia sailed the Atlantic and spotted a drifting vessel. It was the Mary Celeste. It seemed intact, but no one responded. On board were Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, his young daughter, and 7 crew members, all missing. The ship was in perfect condition. Food was served, personal belongings in place, cargo nearly untouched. Only the lifeboat and some navigation instruments were gone. No signs of violence or structural damage. It was as if everyone had abandoned the ship in order and never returned. Theories spread immediately. Some spoke of mutiny or pirates, though nothing was stolen. Others believed alcohol vapors caused fear of an explosion, forcing temporary evacuation, but the lifeboat was never found. Rumors also included storms, insurance fraud, and even sea monsters. In 2002, scientists suggested the alcohol might have produced flammable gases, causing panic. Yet the fate of the crew remains a mystery. The Mary Celeste, found empty in the middle of the ocean, became the most famous ghost ship of all time. A ship with no visible victims, yet a mystery that never sank.